So I want to talk about how a court has struck down the Biden administration, their attempt to essentially engage in a bunch of drilling in New Mexico to lease a bunch of land for drilling, public land for drilling. So I have an article this is in Rolling Stone. Federal court rules Biden isn't taking the climate crisis seriously. The administration's bid to lease 80 million acres of the Gulf of Mexico for drilling was thwarted in court on Thursday. I'm sorry, did I say New Mexico? I meant the Gulf of Mexico. I'm all over the place today, aren't I, guys? A federal judge on Thursday sided with environmental groups by revoking more than 80 million acres of oil and gas leases in the Gulf of Mexico that the Biden administration had approved in what had been the largest such sale in U.S. history. The decision in the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia found the administration didn't adequately consider the effects of greenhouse gas emissions from drilling activity in the Gulf of Mexico. Quote, "This is huge." Brittany Hardy, a lawyer for Earth Justice, an environmental group that was part of the lawsuit, told the New York Times, quote, "This requires the Bureau to go back to the drawing board and actually consider the climate costs before it offers these leases for sale, and that's really significant," Hardy added. "Once these leases are issued, there's development that's potentially locked in for decades to come that is going to hurt our global climate." So this is a good ruling, and it may put some institutional hurdles between big oil and their ability to drill on public lands. I think that's great to whatever extent that is, that's effective. One thing I do want to point out, though, is that this is yet another issue, you guys, where the Biden administration wants credit for somehow being good on the environment. What have they done? What have they done? They rejoined the Paris Climate Accord. Is that it? Really? Like, that's less than the bare minimum, and they want credit for somehow being an environmental administration. We covered last week how they approved over 3,500 new drilling permits in Biden's first year. That was way more than Trump had approved in his first year. This is not an administration that is engaging in a way that would indicate it's taking the climate crisis seriously at all. And here a court has to strike them down. And by the way, they're trying to claim like this really weird, they're trying to say they were like legally obligated to lease this land. And a court's like, no, you were legally obligated to make sure that what you're doing is not going to destroy the environment. I mean, it just, you guys, it goes to show how hollow the rhetoric from Joe Biden and the Democrats truly is. And I'm glad that this court has stepped up and done the right thing and told Biden, no, you can't fucking do that. We'll see how the administration responds. And I just want to point out, it's not as though this administration has been environmentally friendly. And on a somewhat related issue, I'm sure some of you have followed, we've covered extensively the Stephen Donziger story, who successfully sued Chevron for their pollution in Ecuador and then was essentially prosecuted by Chevron's law firm and has been on house arrest for years. Stephen tweeted this out. "Seems not a one large media outlet has reported on the 57-page findings by 4 prominent lawyers that I was denied a fair trial and that my Chevron-orchestrated detention is illegal. Where are you? New York Times, CNN, MSNBC, NPR, ABC, CBS, and NBC." And there are many more that have refused to cover that as well. I want to show you a piece in The Nation that goes into some of these details. Chevron's prosecution of Stephen Donziger. Documents reveal a close collaboration between the... I'm so sorry, you guys, for these fucking ads. The computer is being slower than all hell. Give me just a second. I apologize. Jesus. Boy, it is really not wanting to work, is it? So Donziger obviously was prosecuted by private lawyers who represent Chevron, and it's saying I've read my 3 free articles on the fucking Nation, so I can't bring this to you guys. Don't you love paywalls? God damn it. Essentially, what came out is documents revealed that there was much more behind-the-scenes collaboration between Chevron's lawyers, Gibson Dunn, and the courts who oversaw the process. So it's effectively Chevron was allowed to manipulate the legal system in a way that no one else is. It again just debunks this idea of formalism. What the legal system is for you and I is not what the legal system is for Chevron. It's not what the legal system is for banks. It's not what the legal system is for military contractors, etc. They have access to the high-priced law firms that have all the resources and know all the tricks and network with all of the decision makers. So there's all sorts of corruption and layers involved to this, but the result is heavily skewed in favor of the powerful. And Chevron, again, getting away with this. The reason this ties into the earlier story is because Biden has now appointed one of those lawyers who represented Chevron and prosecuted Steven Donziger to be a federal judge. So, Biden not even attempting to hide his position on the environment here, appointing a Chevron lawyer to federal judge, right? After doing nothing, by the way, about the Donziger prosecution. He certainly could have as president. He oversees the Justice Department. So making his position unequivocally clear here, granting 3,500 drilling permits, right? Trying to do all this drilling over millions of acres in the Gulf of Mexico, on and on. And yet he wants to portray himself as being somehow progressive on the climate. It's absolute nonsense.